I hesitated. Then 2 steps forward, and another, and soon I was making terrible images of a group of friends that I didn't want to photograph in the first place. Mere bhi to photo lo na. Take my photo too, I heard from my left. But we'll come back to that story. I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for those words, or the 2 steps forward that got me close enough to hear them. I also felt like it took me 2 steps forward to come and stand here in front of all of you. I hesitated. I was terrified. The lovely people at TEDx sent me an inspiring video by TED curator Chris Anderson about what makes a great presentation, as well as a PDF document that they send to every speaker who comes and talks to all of you. And I was inspired and things were going great until I read this sentence. And I had a knot in my stomach, and I considered all the excuses I could come up with to not have to stand on this stage and face you room full of strangers. You see, the problem was, my idea is not unique. So how was I going to come here and try to convince all of you that it is? My idea is to take the unsmiling face of an ordinary stranger and put it next to the smiling face of the very same stranger. I add a little bit of a descriptor to give you an idea of the context of our meeting, and that's it. Not unique. It's just a not-for-profit photography project that seeks to replicate the experience of meeting a stranger. So there are no names, no ages, no professions, no religions. I don't adhere to one specific photography technique or lighting style. And I'm just another human with a camera. Everyone has one these days. And the truth is, I don't even like strangers, let alone have to talk to them. But let's go back to the beginning. It was December 2013, and I was researching a travel project, and I was in Rajasthan, and somehow I ended up in Bikaner. I was walking down a busy market street, and I saw this man that I wanted to photograph. I liked his green skull cap and his beard and everything he was wearing and the shape of his face, but the look in his eye made me hesitate. I did. I hesitated, and when I hesitate, I generally don't make that image. Yet, somehow, 2 steps forward, and another, and I was making images of that group of friends we met right at the beginning. Mere bhi to photo lo na. Take my photo too, he said. And I happily turned towards him, pointed my camera, and said, smile. And he did. I felt like someone had turned a light on inside of him. It was like a different person standing in front of me. And almost instantly, it became clear what my next project would be. So when I got home, and I was living in Mumbai at the time, I continued making these images. And about 2 years ago, I started posting them on Facebook, and so I asked them to smile.com. Somehow, one thing led to another, and this friend shared it with these other friends, and one of them worked for the US comedian and talk show host Ellen DeGeneres. Do you guys know who she is? Great. She looks a little bit like a happy elf with big blue eyes. She's the voice of Dory on Nemo. Well, Ellen loved it. So she talked about it on her show, and all of a sudden, people started getting in touch with me and offering technical support as well as social media strategies. The Guggenheim Museum in LA, they wanted to do an exhibition. There was a book deal in the works. Galleries in London, Paris, except none of that happened. My reality was far more ordinary. I did start posting these images 2 years ago. This is my first post. And after 8 months, only 700 people were following the page. And half of them had to. They were my Facebook friends. So, still miffed that Ellen hadn't magically noticed and promoted my project for me, I sent my work out to websites that I thought could help amplify the idea, and sparked by a mistake. Someone noticed it and put it on the front page of a well-known website, and then other pages noticed it. And it was here, and the Times of India, the Hindustan Times, and then it started traveling around the world in languages that I needed Google to translate. But very few people actually follow links back from pages like this and come back to the project page itself. So I still needed to pay Facebook to get the visibility there. And within about a year, a bit more, 400,000 people roughly were following along. But there was a problem, or a challenge. You see, though the audience size was increasing, fewer and fewer of them could see each post I put unless I paid Facebook to promote him. This is Facebook's current mission statement: to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. Their challenge, however, is that their business model monetizes the exact opposite. They profit greatly when we do not feel close together, when we do not feel like we have the power to connect, and we need them. They also profit by encouraging our short 1 second click, swipe, attention span that allows for a lot more ads, but undermines their mission of helping build community. Take this project, for example. It needs a little of its viewers' time. It needs some attention. And I can't just make it for likes and shares. It loses something. So, because I rely on Facebook so heavily, I gradually got more and more frustrated until it dawned on me. In my over-reliance on the secret Facebook algorithm, I had forgotten reality. And the reality is that Facebook has the right to run their business however they like, but no one can stop us from connecting with each other and building community. Look what we've done here at TEDx. So I decided to reprioritize platforms that allowed me to connect with people personally and have conversations that lasted longer than 2 seconds, and where viewers could actually spend some time with these images. So, with the mentorship of a great photographer and friend and the founder of the Photography Promotion Trust, which uses documentary photography to share social change, we did the first So I Asked Him to Smile exhibition at the Jahangir Art Gallery in Mumbai, an iconic art space. And just like the idea, the platform was not unique. It was a big, empty room with white walls and lights that shone down and a big wooden bench in the middle where people could pause their lives, turn off their devices, and hear themselves with the help of the images of 35 strangers from 5 different countries, squeezed into regular frames hung on metal hooks with normal nylon thread. And when I talked to them, I realized that it was precisely because this idea is so simple, and because the project has no message, that it gave people the space to think, to have their own thoughts. Here are some of the thoughts that they shared with me. Smiling makes one beautiful, and it is contagious. Smiling is an instinct, even in a newborn child of any race, color, or religion. Our assumptions about others are mostly inaccurate. We are all vastly more similar than we are different, and that we are told. Our unique and beautiful differences can only be appreciated when we recognize what is common in us all. Our true nature is the second image, smiling and joyful. Each of us in this room wants to connect with others, yet, if we were all on a street, we would most probably walk right past each other. And despite all of these connection devices, why do we feel so alone? And my favorite, I love your idea. It's so simple. I should have thought of it. So, my next 2 steps forward are towards taking this project to new countries. Photographing, exhibiting, and sharing, as well as finding ways to fund this project. I still continue to post on Facebook because I believe in it. At its best, it is a wonderful tool to connect people and ideas, unique or not, with others in places we may never visit. For example, the most powerful connection I had was this, and it was on Facebook. The country that embraced, so I asked him to smile first, was Pakistan. I assumed that people in Pakistan would not be interested in images and a project that features so many smiles from India. Aren't they supposed to hate India? So I thought about it a lot. And this is my theory. Ordinary people in Pakistan probably never see regular images of regular Indians smiling because think about it. When was the last time you saw a picture of an ordinary Pakistani smiling in the media and social networks you use? So, going back to that knot in my stomach and my fear of having to stand in front of all of you and convince you of how unique my idea is, maybe we are overvaluing originality itself. An idea does not need to be earth-shatteringly unique, daringly revolutionary, or incredibly creative to connect with and change the world. So if you have an idea that you believe in Take your 2 steps forward. See where they take you. Because I'm just an ordinary wandering photographer with a simple idea, traveling to normal countries, trying to connect with and photograph random strangers and asking them to share the most non-unique expression I know of, a human smile. Thank you.